The Curious Podcast is brought to you by your generosity, so why not visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Curious Podcasts, where for £5 a month you can help us keep the show going. As always, if you have any topics you'd like to hear us talk about, send us an email at curious.podcasts@gmail.com.
Welcome to the fourth most popular podcast in Jarrow.
Whatever, mate! Shut up, you cunt! Turn up that fucking music! I fucking come down here! I've got a massive hangover after the PSG game! You fucking bastard!
Oh, that must be one of your neighbours hanging out the window, isn't it?
I think it's had a bit too much garlic.
Oh, well.
Fucking hanging for the garlic!
Okay then, so apparently the music is not being appreciated. Maybe I need to tone it down a bit.
So, here today is me, Lawless.
Me, Drewcifer.
And I think we've got Kimbo, Kim, and Craig. And we're all there?
Oh, you twat.
Oh, there. Open the hatch, open the hatch.
Okay.
Let fucking die, Drew! Why didn't you just kill himself? I'd be the bridge he doesn't fucking kill you! Let me
This is
fucking...
last week.
Whoa, what?
This is last week. It's okay, it's a different show now.
Oh, right, excellent, okay.
You must have
Well,
been in
I've got to go out for my whiskey break.
Oh, right.
Right.
He must have been
Okay,
in
okay,
there.
great, come on.
I think it is.
Help me through the hatch. Help me through the hatch. Go on.
Go on.
Watch out, Craig.
Wait, go on. All right, okay.
I'm
Right.
sure my finger touched his ass there.
You probably
No,
left it.
no, that was my finger touching your ass.
Oh,
Sorry,
Sorry, I'm
didn't mean that.
dyslexic.
Right. Oh, yeah. I'm finger dyslexic like that too. Right. Okay. Okay. There we go.
Right. Who's going first? You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, as always. But first, what's the difference between 3 cocks and a joke?
You can't take a joke.
Damn you! Come on.
Well, open it then.
I'm trying.
We'll get the key.
I am using the key.
Got the one. Yeah,
There we go. Welcome back to Dr. Drewcifer. Shut the fuck up, you.
Right, try again.
As I said, welcome back to Dr. Drewcifer's Believe It or Not. So, he already doesn't believe it. But he just doesn't want to believe it. I don't think he wants to be here. So, there are 2 things. One topic I'm going to talk about is the Van Allen radiation belts that got mentioned last week.
Yeah.
Or have a bit of a short conversation about that. And I also accidentally did an interview with someone. I do mean accidentally.
How can you accidentally have an interview?
I was struggling to think of a topic to talk about, and I said, what conspiracy theories would you like to hear about? And he kind
Oh,
of...
wait, this was a fan. Oh, I definitely don't believe it.
From Alabama.
We haven't got fans, surely.
Well, actually, no, we don't have... We have people who listen to 1 or 2 episodes and go, this is fucking shit. and then just...
Sounds about me.
and then just don't listen again anymore.
You need to get rid of the first 5 episodes.
I'm debating it.
And then the rest after that as well.
Including this one that hasn't even been finished yet.
Aye, whatever.
But yeah, I was just asking the guy a question, and it turned into pretty much like a bit of an interview. Cheers. So first off, get us started is the Van Allen radiation belt, and the reason why that is a topic for this show is because it ties into the theory that the moon landing was faked. And you know, there's multiple reasons that people have for thinking the moon landing was faked. One of which is, you know, it was just propaganda to trick the Soviets into bankrupting themselves by going into the space race. And then America faked everything. So that's one theory. Another theory for why it was faked is because it's not actually possible to get out into space. Like, say, take the conversations we've had about the videos that have been broadcast from the ISS, where it looks like
they're on wires.
Yeah, that they're on wires. Things just don't seem to line up the way they should. It's the shit that looks too suspicious. Now, where the Van Allen radiation belts come in is that there's two donut-shaped belts going around the planet. One of which is sort of trapping, solar radiation, and the other one is trapping cosmic rays. It's the stuff, the radiation in space that's from places other than the sun. And people are well, if there's these two rings of radiation going around the planet, then surely we can't actually get there because, well, at least then we couldn't, because we didn't have the technology for radiation shielding. So any astronauts that were going up would get exposed to radiation and probably die from radiation exposure. Because putting tinfoil lining on ain't gonna cut it. Totally see where they're coming from with that. Now, NASA has said that the Apollo astronauts did in fact receive small doses of radiation exposure, but not harmful amounts. So they're doubling down, saying, no, we did go to the moon. Yes, there's these radiation belts that were named after Van Allen, but it wasn't enough exposure to do them any harm. And yeah, so Apollo astronauts were supposedly exposed to the radiation, but it wasn't harmful amounts, so everything's okay. So that's what NASA is claiming. So, but the question is, are NASA telling the truth? Is it that all the radiation levels really that low that they wouldn't cause any harm to someone passing through them? Or all the full of shit, and was everything actually all faked? Or was it faked, but we've got the technology now to be able to pass through, and we are up in space? But then, why does the ISS astronauts, or cosmonauts, whichever name is the right one for them, why do they keep looking like they're on wires? I mean, there are shots where it doesn't look like they're on wires at all. Like that one who snuck a gorilla suit onto the ISS and got dressed into the gorilla. Have you seen the video of it? Where he goes in the box, puts the gorilla suit on, then goes speeding through into the next room, and his colleague, his fellow astronaut, comes pelting back through, and he's chasing him. It's like that sort of speed. There's no way they could be on wires when they're doing that. I mean, yeah, okay. We know from, what was it, Apollo 13? The one with Tom Hanks in? We know from that all they got to do to fake the whole weightlessness of space is to do the filming in a plane and put the plane into a dive, and then you become weightless.
Comment.
Yeah, so we already know that there's ways of faking that weightlessness.
Or you could do what Sweden done and just switch gravity off for a week.
There is that. Now, it has been a week since we talked about it, so no doubt there'll be some news regarding what's happening now that Sweden has.
You think so, wouldn't you? But there's none at all, actually.
Well, I suppose we'll have to wait and see what happens to Kimbo serving hatch with these scientific facts. We'll see what happens later on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think with regards to this with the Van Allen belts? I think Craig's busy snorting on something.
I know he's got a really, really bad cold.
Uh,
It sounds like he's trying to breathe through his ears.
I know. Yeah, he's trying to snort cocaine through his ears to feel better.
Oh, he's alright. He's
No, he's gone
dead.
again. He's gone again. Yeah, so what do we think? Do we think that the Van Allen belts are not actually harmful to us and we have been able to go up into space? Or are the Van Allen belts preventing us from being able to get into space?
Well, it's a well-known fact that you can't land on the moon.
Right,
Because
guys,
it's-
come on. Yeah, sorry, Richie. Just gotta stop you there. Can you help me through the hatch? I'm back from a whiskey break.
Alright.
Yeah, come on. Here we go. Hey, come on. Right,
Nope.
Okay, I'm here. Stop. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Sorry. That was a loose cigarette paper. Right, okay. Sorry, yeah.
Anyway.
Go on. Sorry about that, lads.
So, it's a well-known fact that you can't land on the moon because the moon is made of cheese. And any kind of rocket or propulsion would just simply melt the cheese. Everyone knows that.
Scientific fact.
And space is just a big
Oh,
giant freezer.
yeah. No. Sorry. Hold on. I said someone say scientific fact. I'm the one who has the right to say scientific fact on this.
Okay.
Sorry, Kimbo.
Wait there.
Yeah, sound right.
Conspiratorial fact that space is just one big giant freezer, and that's why the moon never molds or goes bad, you know? And actually, the creators that you talk about, Drew, are actually Swiss cheese. It's a form of Swiss cheese.
Ah, that actually makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And as for the Van Halen belt, by the picture
Guys, sorry. You're saying Swiss cheese. You've got no cheese in, so I can't serve you any cheese later. So
I've got rice in.
I was just gonna say that.
yeah, sorry. I don't have any cheese. I'm sorry. I literally went and opened the fridge. You haven't got any cheese. Sorry. Because I've just walked in. And you're all talking about cheese, so I'm I'm very interested because I like talking about cheese scientifically, like the pH levels of cheese. Do you know the cheese with maggots from Italy?
Yeah.
I've heard of it, and I have no intentions of trying it.
I can
We don't need to try it with the maggots. Sometimes they take it out and sell it.
I don't know. A second. Wait a minute.
Are you thinking of tequila on the worm?
No.
They do that as well.
Is it a variation of
Good
mascarpone?
mezcal. Sorry, what are you saying? Sorry, I apologize. I was looking for some cheese there. I couldn't find any.
Is it the maggot cheese? Is that a variation of mascarpone?
I believe it is. I believe it's one of the Italian cheeses.
No. He's both wrong actually, because that was a gangster in the 1930s from New York.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of Magatone.
Yep.
Anyway, Drew. Basically, I'm going to say I don't believe it. I don't believe cheese. It was created by aliens. I think it was cows.
But what about the Van Allen belts?
Well, I think they look like two bollocks, so it should have been called the bollock belt.
Or Van Allen's bollocks.
Funny story. Scientists actually were going to name it the Bullock belts, but they thought it sounded too similar to bollocks, so they decided not to. So yeah.
I believe it. I don't believe the moon landing was real anyway.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He doesn't believe the moon landing was real. That the Van Allen belts are too harmful to us.
No.
What?
No, the fact that the moon's made of cheese, Drew. Did you not listen to
Okay,
that?
but what about us being able to into space?
Okay, yeah, that was good because we're going to say we don't need to be stupid here. The moon is not made of cheese. Well, we've only gone so far. I mean, like I said last week, we haven't gone actually fully into the core, so we don't know if the core of the moon is cheese or not. It's just scientific fact, but it's probably not.
I tell you what, I do find hard to believe about the moon landing is that they took a space buggy thing up there. Like, really?
They did compact it into such a space, and then yeah, I know it's really weird to think that they did compact it. I've seen the schematics.
It's like let's.
I didn't want to believe it either because I always looked at the Apollo sort of capsules coming down, and then the top part blasts off to let them go off the part of the moon and that. But the way the Apollo sort of missions have worked like that, you can actually sort of see it happen
like that. I mean, Mythbusters even did a whole bunch of stuff that basically disproved a load of stuff that people said, oh, they didn't land on the moon and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys aren't talking about that. I know you're conspiracy theorists. You're not talking about that crazy bullshit. Because if you were, I would literally come out of the fucking hatch and stab Drew to death and then probably give Richie for telling off. You wouldn't like that, Richie, so, beware.
No, I wouldn't like that.
And what about you, Craig?
Craig's
Craig.
just a giant
Craig.
balls. Not at
Craig.
the minute.
Yeah.
Craig.
I've got a fucking clue what we talking about. I fell asleep, sorry.
Okay, excellent.
Craig's way
Anyways,
too old for
I
this,
don't
like.
believe at all, since they never sent Apollo Creed up there.
Hmm.
It was the shocking.
I'll be honest, Craig. I used to get Rocky 4 and Apollo 15 confused all the time.
I did as well.
Mhm.
It's the big confusion there between if he dies, and the moon landings.
Yeah,
Oh, was it Apollo 15, not 13, that had Tom Hanks in?
according to Kim.
Apollo 13 was a horror. No, Apollo 18 was a horror movie.
Exactly.
No,
13's
you're
an
talking
lucky
about-
number. Why would you you don't send anyone to the moon on Apollo 13? You do like 12B or something.
The question is, why haven't they sent anyone up the moon lately? They were going about the 60s, 70s.
That's true. Yeah.
We've got further technology now, so why not send anyone up the moon if it's so real? Prove it then if you've got the bad technology these days. So I do not believe it. I think it's a little shame.
I think
So,
it has actually
Craig,
been in the
Craig,
news.
I'm
that
just
they
saying, Craig, by that logic, then you believe Mars exists, right?
Nah.
Because they've sent stuff to Mars.
Mars bars?
Like, as in Mars bars. Yeah, they sent up stuff to Mars bars. Where Mars bars come from? Why do you think the stuff keeps coming? Why do you think we get Mars bars? You literally think they're naming Mars? Oh my God. Right. They name chocolates after where they come from. Galaxy comes from actual parts of the galaxy. Milky Way comes from actual parts of the Milky Way. Mars bars come from actual parts of Mars. God, am I seriously? Right. Do you want to know something? I'm going to go away for the next 5 minutes so I can burn all the chocolate because you clearly don't like it. I've actually brought scientific chocolate in here and you don't like it. No, I'm away. Close the serving hatch. Close it. I don't want to close because I'm not going to be out
Grab him, right, bye!
Gone crazy.
Bye!
There's one thing Kim did forget though, and that was Milky Bars. And they're on me.
Get back out. Get just grab his
Right,
right.
get over the fucking serving hatch. Over there, hey. It's Kimbo, not Kim. I am not that man. I am not Kimford.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. His name is Kimford.
Oh, great. This grab him again. Put back in. Just get back in.
Wait.
Okay, and that is Kimbo dealt with. So, Craig, you were saying?
That's it. I don't believe it. I just think it's a load of shite.
Wait, which part?
Every part.
So it's shite that we did, and it's also shite that we didn't.
Exactly correct.
Oh yeah, that's what you were saying. Why have we never been back? I think
Yeah.
it's been in the news that one of the countries is planning on doing some new moon missions with astronauts.
Was it not India or something? Because they've just sent someone up recently, haven't they?
I think it might have been India. I
Didn't
don't
they
know.
decide to take a GoPro to a seagull or something?
I don't know.
Something like that.
That's another thing what makes us laugh. The UK government sends billions over to India to help, obviously, the vulnerable, like the children, that. And they're paying fucking spaceships to go out to the moon.
In swingball on the moon?
Aye. That's a good task for you, Richie.
Aye, maybe we should build our own rocket and have our own moon swing ball.
Did you not hear the moon about the moon being cheese? You can't stick a swing ball set into a big floating frozen pile of Swiss cheese, Drew.
Yes, you can.
You can't.
Well,
Do you believe the man on the moon, Richie?
Nah. And there's nothing I can do?
It's not like, is it?
Nah.
I heard
And
the
then-
first man on the moon was that biker who used to win the Tour de France. What was his name?
Oh, aye, Lance Armstrong, aye.
Armstrong, that's it, aye.
Somewhere Kim stabbing himself, yeah.
Okay, so
And that's where the name Buzz Lightyear come from?
From Buzz Aldrin.
No.
From Lance Armstrong.
No, from cheese. I mean,
What?
it's like talking a brick wall, yeah.
Right. Drew, grab him. He's running the latch as well.
Right, Richie, in the hatch.
Right, Richie's stopping him. Right,
What the fuck is going on here? Right,
Shut He's eating the butter.
fucking bar!
F-13.
So for part 2 of Drewcifer's Believe It or Not is the interview. Now, as I asked, someone from Alabama who, technically, I don't even know if he's listened to the show yet. I think he's got it bookmarked, but he hasn't listened yet.
Oh, well, then he's our number one fucking fan if he's done that shit.
Get back in the hatch, you!
Ah, fuck off.
Have you got to come out? Bring Richie with you.
He's already out. He went through the fucking door at the side.
Wait, the hatch has got outside door?
He went to McDonald's for 10 minutes.
No, there's a side. Yeah, of course there's a door to the fucking kitchen.
Fair enough.
God, what the fuck do you know about English architecture from the 1960s?
Nothing.
Exactly. I know everything. That's why this is Kimbo Serving Hut! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kimbo... Oh, wait, they're not at that part yet. Sorry.
No, we're not.
Yeah, that's because we're...
Okay. So I asked him, what conspiracy...
Everybody, welcome to Kimbo's Serving Hut!
Shut up, Craig, or you're going in there as well. Okay, so I asked him, what conspiracy theories would you...
Guys, I'm going to McDonald's. He's want anything?
Yeah, can I get a Big Mac, a large number 9, a large soda, a number 10, a number 9 large, a 70, a 58, a 62,
Oh, that's it. Fuck this
57.
shit. I'm ending the Believe It or Not chat. I'll do the interview next week. I've had enough. I'm
Win.
Hey, Drew, does the guy who you're doing the interview with have anything he wants to go to McDonald's with? Because Richie's going out. He says he is.
I mean, I may as well get everyone's when I'm there.
Aye,
He doesn't like McDonald's. He prefers Waffle House.
I'm not going there.
No.
Well, there's no Waffle House. The closest Waffle House is literally New York State, and that's on an angle.
Right.
Hi,
well,
Craig. We do
who's
waffle on.
no, I told you, but Believe It or Not is now done for this week. I'll do the interview next week. The music's been done.
No, do it again.
That's just like everyone should leave now because we're really intrigued what he said.
Yeah, that's it. I'm off. That's just it. It's like a psychedelic trip. I'm away somewhere else. Bye.
Okay, well, who wants to hear the interview? Oh, the wall's gone. Right.
Right, come on then, get on with the interview.
Is it long? Is it a long
I
interview?
mean, I've got nothing against the person you're speaking to. I've got everything against the person who's speaking to him. That's all. Assuming.
Oh, we already knew that. 2.5 pages.
If you can 2.5, if you can make it 10 minutes, we'll be quiet.
It's probably less than 10 minutes, to be honest.
Good.
I mean, at the end of the day, if it's something that's pre-recorded, our editor, whoever that may be, can they just insert it right now? Yeah.
Hi, Blazing Wanderer. Thank you for joining me in the studio today.
Hello.
So I was wondering, which conspiracy theory or theories play the most on your mind?
I'd like to talk about how ridiculous 2 particular theories are. 1, why in the world and how in the world, with the internet and phones, would we not have footage of most, if not all, cryptids? I get a mysterious animal at the bottom of the ocean or deep jungles, places we haven't fully explored. But Bigfoot, a 7-foot tall gorilla man missing link, is not in Canada or whatever. And 2, how and why, for the same reasons, could doctors lie about vaccines and shit? That's aimed at anti-vaxxers and even flat earthers too. It's just wild that they still believed at all. The bigger something is, the harder it is to hide. At some point, it becomes an unkeepable secret, like UFOs and aliens and government come in clean, because at this point, it's like statistically they'd have to exist in some way.
So I thought the Sasquatch was in the Appalachian Mountains, not Canada.
Well, the large head man mythos is everywhere. Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, etc., all the same thing. Even the Wendigo or werewolf could be tweaks of this if you go back far enough, like Strigoi or Vamps.
But the Yeti is basically the polar bear equivalent of the Bigfoot or Sasquatch, isn't it?
Yeah, essentially. It's like Bigfoot has different tribes named by climate.
Okay. So, if I remember right, Strigoi is a subspecies of vampire, if I recall. Wendigo is specific to Native American mythology, I believe, whereas werewolves as a whole are not. They take the Lugaroo. They're the Eastern European werewolf. Also, if I remember correctly, Nosferatu is the parent vampire species, which is probably why it's the most hideous looking.
All mostly correct, but point is people have the same myths on similar creatures all around the world, all stemming most likely from same fear of the human condition. Take Strigoi and Vamps, both drink blood for its life force, given properties. People being strengthened by it, both are considered the living dead because one is human-made to give up their humanity for immortality, whereas the Strigoi are spirits with such anguish even their bodies come back from the dead and are sustained by blood. Almost like voodoo zombies, both stem from the idea that blood makes us live. To be robbed of it is to be robbed of life. Also, older science of humours and such gave rise to the belief that eating the same body part of another helped with your own body part's health.
So with humours, you're talking about the old alchemy thing about the black bile, yellow bile, whatever, the old form of medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me more about the doctors lying about the vaccines.
Okay, so for the doctor's things, it's all simple mathematics at the end of the day. Like I said, too many doctors, too many different agendas, too many different types of people, too much tech on every corner, recording, logging, saving everything we do. Or at least a lot of it. That being said, if vaccines did have government spy chips or some content that made kids get autism, do you think they could convince every doctor in the world almost to say that simply isn't true? Like, all of them? You can bribe and threaten a large number, sure, but not all. Plus, they all take oaths to protect life, etc. Not that you can't just lie, but, you know. 1, don't take oaths for granted. It's weird human nature of promises to oneself. And 2, most either get into doctrine to help people or for money. If it's the former, they wouldn't want to lie.
I mean, if you ask anyone outside of the USA, they'll say the same thing. American doctors are just in it for the money, because they won't treat you if you can't pay. Over in the UK, we have the National Health Service, that everyone pays into direct from their paychecks. So no matter who you are or what the problem is, you get seen to and treated without having to worry about how much it's going to cost. My point being, the oath doesn't appear to mean shit to American doctors. They're going to do what is going to line their pockets the most. So American doctors would be easy enough to bribe and such, but yeah, the rest of the world not so easily done. Plus, it would mean every government was in on the tracking conspiracy. What they did do was use the conspiracy theory as a smokescreen for how they are really tracking us. Look at how many places stopped taking physical money once lockdown started. How much have card transactions become the preferred method of payment? Why? Because they can track those transactions. Plus, all they need to do is have a version of the vaccine that the doctors are happy with. Then, since it's private companies producing the vaccines, create a new vaccine that has the tracking chips in them, or whatever, and hide the change from the doctors. It's not about the doctors. It's about Big Pharma.
No, once again, you need to ensure no scientific word gets out. World-spanning conspiracies is now impossible in the digital age, unless you're in China, where they control everything from the top down intrinsically. But in freer places like the UK and the USA, that shit wouldn't fly for long. People love exposing the government and companies. But what happens? People talk with zero evidence, or like a Facebook post or a book by a kid's author, not a doctor, as groundwork.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but I disagree that it's impossible. Just hire the improbable. I don't believe anything is impossible.
Well, I agree. I guess it could, but to live your whole life as if the 0.0001% change thing is real, I don't know. Bad move.
I'm not saying I believe it's real. I'm simply saying that nothing is impossible. For instance, it's not impossible I could take a shit on the king's bed and get away with it. But it's so improbable, it seems impossible. Doesn't mean I already have or will, at least not in this universe anyway. But then maybe I should have worded it as anything is possible rather than nothing is impossible. But
Yeah.
anyway, thank you for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Look at that, it's just been inserted.
All hail Craig! All hail Craig! All hail Craig!
Right, boys, who's next?
Craig, 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 Craig.
Nah, right, I'm going now. Right, bye.
Bye, bye.
Literally, I've got fuck all for this week. I've had to like think of something like this morning. Been ill.
Cue Craig's music.
Right, welcome to Weekly Bits on Craigie's Tits. I've got what's it called this week for you to start off? I can't even think. And that's a Mandela effect.
Oh,
Did you ever used to watch what's it called?
I think I know which Mandela effect you're going to do because it's making the rounds. Is it by Catch the Pigeon?
It is.
Yes.
What did you used to see?
It was. No, it is. It was Catch the Pigeon.
Yeah.
And the show was called Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines. And
the music was Catch the Pigeon.
Now on the
pigeon. Catch the pigeon.
Well, there's people who are claiming that it was Stop the Pigeon, but no. If you go to the fucking Wikipedia page for the show, it even says there the song was called "Catch the Pigeon."
Because it fucking was. Wikipedia's never wrong. Fuck off.
Exactly. Wikipedia is the scientific fact.
Well, thanks for taking that away from us, Drew. That's my bit done for this week. Right, bye.
Sorry, Craig.
Craig. My lawyer's saying if you want to get into the lawsuit, I can sue you because I've got a contract. I have a contract with the actual. Yeah, fuck off, you cunt. I am saying this. I don't care. It says in my contract, Kimbo is the only person who's allowed to say scientific fact on this conspiracy theory podcast. And if Drew says it more than twice, I'm allowed to sue him. So we'll start court proceedings next week. And if you want to join me, Craig, I'll gladly have you as a co-plaintiff.
Yeah.
There we go. Excellent.
Right. Well, welcome to Gerard News this week. Thank you for that, Kimbo. News for this week is locals have found a whale on Jura Beach. After prodding and sticking sticks in it and trying to feed it all week, it only came to the realization it was local man Richie Lewis, who was stuck there after trying to pick up one chip he lost a week's back he bought. Oh, God. Honestly, Richie, what you like? Anyways, I've had a couple of viewers writing for marriage advice. Don't know why. I'm not married. It's Richie who's married.
Married one,
yeah, Richie's the one.
Gary wrote in. He said, "When my wife and I argue, how do I stop it? I just say, I'm sorry, you're right. That will end the argument, Gary. That will end the argument. Anyways,
Happy wife, happy life.
my wife prefers to take the stairs, but I always take the elevator. I guess we were raised differently. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know if you can hear that face from there.
I asked my wife to let me know next time she has orgasm. She said she doesn't like to bother me when I'm at work.
Oh!
Oh, wait a sec. Two minutes. Breaking news. Kimbo, can I go to you? Kimbo. What are you, Kimbo? I said Kim. Breaking news.
Yes,
Breaking news here. Breaking news. We have heard that Margaret Chair has been seen in the local vicinity within Jarrah. We understand the area is local to the place of Newcastle, where they beat Paris Saint-Germain the other night. So anyone who is in the local vicinity has been told to keep vigilant and make aware of who Margaret Chair, or other aliases are. That bitch, hoy you, and hey, why the fuck did you kick my cat, you stupid fanny? Everyone is to be made to be aware of her. The king is in the local area and says, I am going to cut that fucking bitch up. I love gorgeous Ken. He is so goddamn gorgeous. He is the greatest thing about this country. I didn't want to be king. The only reason I wanted to be king was because gorgeous Ken was in this country. Fuck my mom. She's a stupid little bitch, and I'm glad she's dead. The only reason I'm king is because of gorgeous Ken, and he is in the local area. Why did he not put any fucking apostrophes in that goddamn sentence? Anyway, back to you, Craig.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Can you repeat yourself? No. All right,
Fuck
then.
you, local bitch.
Anyways, in sports news, the cricket match has been cut off this weekend. There's no reason why. Everyone is stumped.
Yeah, put me on the air now. I'll tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, Jarrah bowling team is in the final of the North Sea Championship, but also rumours has been called off due to strikes, but still a split decision on that one. Anyways, weather news. It is windy as fuck since local woman Becky has pulled down her knickers and her fanny does whistle in the wind. Back to you. Back to you, Kim.
Yes, we're here on the local scene where Betty has pulled down her pants. I'm sorry, Craig, just to interrupt you there. I'm just on the local scene. Betty pulled down her pants. Elliot here today. She left her pants on the scene. They're quite minging. Back to you, Craig.
And finally, there is another breaking news. Why is Drew a wanker? Thanks for that, guys. Thanks for that. That is the news this week on the Creaky Bits on Creaky Stits.
Well, that was offensively informative.
Fucking brilliant.
Wasn't it brilliant? Yes.
Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Well done, Craig. Craig.
I think that's what I'm going to call this week's episode. All Hail Craig.
All Hail Craig.
Right, guys. The top 5 this week is TV shows. I don't think I've done this one yet. I don't know. I'm confused. TV shows.
Underrated, overrated, or just top 5 in general?
Just top 5 in general.
Ooh.
Define a TV show. No, sorry. I have to come in from the scientific point of view. Define a TV show. Is it like something on TV?
Something on TV could be reality, could be comedy, could be anything.
As long as it's on TV, like terrestrial or console or digital, as long as it's on TV.
No, on big TV. Big TV.
Big TV. Wait. What do you mean by big TV? I'm totally confused.
It's TV, but it's not very big. It's just big. Television programs.
Okay, well, I'm very confused. Why don't you go first then, Craig? Set the ball forward.
Right. Dear. Okay.
This is what he does with his top 5. He basically just does nothing. He basically says, here's a top 5. You guys talk. And I'll shut up for the next 5 minutes. Look, he's already got a mute. The bastard!
I haven't fucking planned anything, Camille. So, dear. So good along the lines of Coronation Street. I don't think it's a top 5, but you know what I mean.
All right, okay. Basically, all right, okay. If I may, From the scientific point of view, I think Craig's TV shows is literally just anything that you can define as being on TV. Even if you can watch it on the internet, as long as it's on TV, it's a TV show, quote unquote.
Okay, so
Yeah.
mine would be Friends.
Yes.
That is one of my overrated shows.
Oh, always one, isn't it?
Yeah, that might be one of his overrated one, but it's not your overrated one. It's one of your top 5 ones.
Yeah.
So what he thinks doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was still very popular though.
Oh God,
So
yeah.
it could
But-
be yeah.
It still
Here's-
is now, though. Yeah, after the fact.
Here's the best thing that I like to ask. What's the best situation comedy that Friends was since Friends? Boom. Go on, answer that.
What situation comedy can you think of that?
But you know, it's a sitcom.
That's it, com.
Aye, situation comedy, sitcom.
Situation comedy. I'm just saying the scientific term. I'm sorry. That's what we do in this hatch.
Well, people try to force How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
but it was nowhere near as good. But I think it was the same writers. But I just didn't feel it with the characters.
What about the Big Bang Theory?
Oh, I don't even get started on that shite.
The Big Bang Theory was like the idea that there is this radiation background in the universe and all that. And there is that there. So the Big Bang Theory isn't actually the Big Bang Theory. It's literally the Big Bang happened. Why do people keep saying this in situation comedies? I don't know why people raise scientific theory in the middle of this. We're talking about Friends. We're talking about things like Cheers and that. You know, done.
Yeah.
Done.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
The
you
Office.
feel
And then Frasier.
going down.
Was it Taxi, the one with Frasier starred in?
I think so.
No, it was Cheers. Frasier initially starred in Cheers, and then he got his own show out of that. And Frasier's actually technically coming back. Have you heard, guys?
I've heard, yes.
Don't know.
But there was also the one dealing with Frasier's dad, because he used to work in a taxi firm, like a yellow cab company.
No, but that wasn't the same character.
I thought it was.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Never
No,
mind then.
no. As far as I'm aware, it's not. I'm just a scientist, but from what TV and what I understand from American conversation, it's just not. From Taxi, i.e. the guy that Jimmy, what was his? No, Jimmy. Sorry, Jim Carrey. He didn't call himself Jimmy. Too many Jimmys in the world. Jim Carrey played in the Man on the Moon.
You did.
Oh.
Yeah, aye. That if it's that guy, same guy from Taxi, then it's not. He played a guy in Taxi, but it's not that same character.
Fair enough.
That's from what I understand. But yeah, from what I actually have seen from the trailer, the Del Boy. Not
Oh,
Del Boy.
yeah.
Rodney is in. Yeah, he's playing some. He's basically meant to be playing some posh English professor on old deck. Yes, I am a person who's doing. I need to be paid money and that. And I know he's gone on. He's had some personal tragedy recently. You know, with his son passing away in his early 20s. You know, that's a terrible thing. All that. And it's nice that he's. Yes, I know it's very sad and that, and you know, apologies and. Condolences to that, but Nicholas Lyndhurst has done actually very well for himself, at least in going out and doing that and trying to make himself in this new Frasier, and hopefully he actually does make it decent and good. You know I'm going to give it at least a decent watch. I don't know if anyone else out there and anyone who actually listens to this fucking shit would actually do that. I don't know. Maybe they can actually send an email in. Craig, I believe it's fireandflame.com or gmail.com that they've got a message into.
It's fireandflame@gmail.com if you want email for him about any queries or not. So
Has
please.
that actually been set up now, has it?
Yeah. After
No.
it.
Richie, you've set it up, yeah?
Yeah.
After it. At fireandflame@gmail.com. Hashtag Richie is a menace.
There we go then.
I'm going to throw one in the boil here. 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
Yeah, that was good. I think In Between Us was quite good as well.
It's not overrated. I think Between Us it was good. Skins is another one.
I couldn't really get into it, to be honest. I mean, I watched a couple of episodes of it, but I just couldn't really get into it. Same as the oh god, what was it? Shameless.
Oh, Seamus was great.
I mean, a lot of people love Shameless. I mean, I watched a few episodes. Yeah, it was okay, but I couldn't get into it.
Guys, you're fucking idiots. I'm just saying, you're talking about TV shows, and we're actually literally not talking about the biggest and best TV shows in terms of viewing ratings and viewing everything. I'm actually going to give you a clue in terms of the biggest and the best, right? Grab people.
South Park.
Yep, that's probably rated about 579 million. No, I'm talking about bigger than that. Who has South Park ripped off? Who did South Park literally said they were ripping off?
The Simpsons?
Exactly. There you go. If you're talking about top TV shows, end of discussion.
Yeah, quite literally.
I mean, how many episodes of The Simpsons have happened right now? Bearing in mind, we are recording this in early October 2023, so The Simpsons have probably started a new season 317 million. It is actually probably season, there we go. The Simpsons. What season are you performing and being at right now? But now, bearing in mind that I'm looking at this, here we go. According to Wikipedia, they're on season 35 and they've done 751 episodes. You can't say there's a greater TV show than that.
True.
I think they should get to 800 and then stop, though.
Oh, another big show, but a lot of people probably see it's been going downhill lately. Is Doctor Who?
Oh, they've killed it. It's nothing to do with the act. Well, I don't really like her, but the writing's just fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, David Tennant had a good run. Matt Smith played the role well, but the writing was shoddy. Peter Capaldi was redeeming for the writing team, and then getting into Jodie Whittaker, and again, it's like the writing did kind of go downhill. A lot of people shit on the whole Timeless Child thing, but I was actually excited for that because it called back a Tom Baker episode, The Brain of Morbius, which implied that there were incarnations of the Doctor prior to William Hartnell.
Yeah, I mean, if I may, you can basically generically sort of nutshell any sort of TV show like that. The way Craig has sort of dispersed this is to basically say, how would you define any top 5 of anything? Because I bet you the number one top new TV show of any one time on any one news channel is any channel is probably, as I said, the news. You know, like breaking news, breaking this, breaking that. You know, that's probably what the top show of any one time is going to be, is news, information, actual facts. And I know I'm just sort of bloating that from my serving hatch, as I say, with scientific fact, which I'm the only one allowed to say in the show. Yeah, I know I'm not meant to shout that, but I will state that because my lawyer
and that is a fact.
Don't you dare! No, none of that. No, I've been told to actually be serious about this because if I want to actually make merchandise out of this, I have to be serious about this.
I just said it was a fact. I didn't say it was the other kind of fact. I just said it was just a fact.
Exactly, because anyone can say a fact, seemingly on Fox News and that shit. As we go on, I'm sorry, I have to say, no, my lawyer's telling me I have to say Fox News and other opposite notes show like The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. So, yeah. But I mean, it is vague, isn't it, like that? But, I mean, you can basically say, what's the favourite Newcastle-based TV show? Are your top 5 like that? What's your top 5 shows?
Geordie Shore.
I was going to say, it's definitely not Geordie Shore.
Geordie Shore, where are you, man?
Why are you not the fuck man?
Jarrah Shaw.
Oh,
Jarrah Shore, that's what we need.
Jarrah Shaw was big in 2011.
Cuppa, joint, sorted.
Yeah, that was the catchphrase.
Well, I'm sure we've mentioned over
much I can say.
at least 5 shows by now. We've had an in-depth discussion with Fraser.
TV shows and that, right? What I meant is our personal choice, like Kimbo, right over there. You absolutely get back in the hatch, right? But we haven't mentioned Game of Thrones.
Yeah, despite the ending.
Despite the ending. And Breaking Bad, I've never personally sorted, but everyone breaks out on about that.
Shade.
Well, I'll tell you what then. If I can end it with a scientific sort of ask and query, what's the top 2 shows you would see or want to see. I'm like, don't fucking get down the hatch. I'm saying, what's the top 2 shows you'd want to see before? Fuck up, you cunt.
Just bring it back out for a second. I want to see what you guys going to say. Right, come on then. What were you going to say?
Okay. I was going to say, what's the top 2?
Well, I suppose we'll never know what it was. Kimbo wanted to ask us what's the top 2 shows or whatever that we wanted to see.
Very true.
Yeah. But yeah. It does remind me season 2 of the Quantum Leap reboot is out soon.
Shut up. Right. So, Kim, do you want me to go next or you?
Well, first of all, Craig, is that the end of the your bit? Craig? I think we've lost Craig. That sounds like Kimbo dragged him down with him.
Sorry, I was having to go at Kimbo there. Yeah, that's end of mine. Right, back on the next person.
Right, get back down there. You.
Me or Kim? I'm thinking probably me.
Right, hold on. Fuck off, Craig. Right, okay. Craig, you see the door? Just go for the door. Yeah, right, okay. There we go. Craig's going for the door. Keeps eating the butter.
You let the dogs out!
Oh my god! For fuck's sake! Well, I tell you what, I found it funny when he kept making these butter sculptures of everyone from King of the Hill, but I also found it right. Then I started finding it a little weird. He was using it as a bit of a lubricant for self pleasure a lot, but I was ignoring that half the time. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can stay on your side, okay? That's a new rule we've got in here. I'm sort of thinking we rewrite the contract I've got because, as I say, I'm the only one that can say scientific fact. And yeah. But anyway, Richie, I believe you usually say,
cue the music. Welcome to Richie's Corner. Today's episode is sponsored by Big Willie's Hand Warmers. Ooh. So if you want to warm your hand up, go to Big Willie's. Okay, so this week I've actually been on my honeymoon with Beatrice.
Ooh.
And I thought I'd take her somewhere where like blue skies, clear oceans, really nice weather.
Highland.
So I took her to Skegness, and
Good choice.
What the
yeah,
fuck?
so we just we drove down. Down. Is it up or whatever? Shut up! Right. So, anyways, we're driving there, and I thought we'd take the camper van down and stuff, and we actually picked up a hitchhiker, which I thought was only fair because I did knock him over, So
Wait, were you on the moped? Yeah. Because I know she loves the moped. You got
loves the moped.
Well,
when I say camper, I mean a moped with a tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's alright. I was just making sure. The Java camper.
I mean, as everyone knows, Skegness is you can't drink the water there. So, first thing we done when I got there was I sent Beatrice to the shop to get some water, and she come back with 30 bottles of water, and I says, "Why? What are you here for a week?" She's like, "Yeah, but I want a bath." So marriage can be challenging, especially with our wooden leg and eye patch. We do get some people staring at me, So mainly we just we had a walk around the car park and stuff, and got the pictures took outside the bins. We met the manager of the travel lodge.
The manager of the Truffle Lodge?
Yeah. And
oh my god, OMG!
So it was a bit of a surprise actually, because I was like, now I know I promised you camping in the car park, but I've actually trekked her to a night in the travel lodge, and oh my god, she was so grateful. She actually fell over because she's only got one night. And she says to the manager, she says, "Is the porn in here? Because like I hope the porn's disabled." And the manager says, "No, you sick bastard. It's regular porn." So that didn't go down well either. So yeah, we spent the rest of the week pulling crabs out of our socks and stuff on the beach, and
How are you pulling crabs out of it?
I introduced us to our family because there's the local museum around there. But I mean, I really noticed the age gap during the honeymoon, which didn't really bother us before. But just little things like we're lying in bed, and then I jumped up and I realised, oh my god, it's Haley's Comet. And I was like, "Are you not excited to see it?" She's like, "Nah, I've seen it a few times."
How often does Haley's Comet come round?
8 years, something like that.
Ah, well,
Yeah. Scientific fact. That's about
There you go.
8 years
There
or
you
so. Yeah. So if she's seen it a few times, I'd imagine she's either an astronaut or very old.
I think she doesn't look like an astronaut.
I think she might have been.
She looks more like a pirate, to be honest.
I think she's probably been ingesting a bit of that monoatomic gold that the Anunnaki has.
Well, either way, it was an alright honeymoon. It's back to reality this week though, so But anyways, enough of me and Beatrice. I'll fill you in better next week, which is actually what I said to her.
Nice.
So we've got some,
Nice. Fist bump, bro. Fist bump.
Yeah.
Scientific fist bump. Boom.
Yeah. So we've actually got some fan mail as well. We've got one here from Edward. My wife was leaving me because of my obsession with astrology. I mean, what planet is she on? I don't know, Edward. That is a tough one.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, if he's out into astrology, surely he would know what planet she's on.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Speaking scientifically, it depends on what system they're in. As in, if they're in the solar system, you could probably tell what planet they're on. It's from Mercury to Neptune. So, one of them. Am I right, bros?
Hell yeah.
What about Nibiru?
Anyways, Davies wrote in, My lesbian friends have bought me a gold Rolex for my birthday. I think they were confused when I said I wanted to watch.
Watch
Philip?
what?
I don't know. You just said something about you wanted to watch. Philip, I told my wife I had a crush on Beyonce, and she says, "Whatever floats your boat, honey." Which I was confused because that's buoyancy. I know, Philip. Scientific fact. Carly's wrote in. I thought I saw Drew the other day, but as I got closer...
Is this another fucking coconut?
No. I thought I saw Drew the other day, but as I got closer, I realised it was just a golden Labrador fly tipping construction materials out of his van.
That's not as bad.
Sarah's wrote in. How old is Beatrice? I'll be honest, I don't know myself.
Well, I've just seen Haley's Comet a few times.
Oh.
Old enough.
And when she coughs, like dust comes out of her mouth as well. Strange. Shut.
Does it smell like
Shut. Thomas has wrote in. Can I have a shout out? No, you fucking can't, Thomas, right?
Yeah. Quick.
Shout
out on the show, Thomas.
No.
Shout out to Julie.
I shout out Julia. And I wrote this on a fucking different page. I wrote on that.
Have you brought that page with you?
So, anyways, right. So this week's master bait is actually about trees.
Okay.
Do we need trees? Now, before you say anything, I'm going to tell you about these trials that they're having in Sweden, where they've actually banned trees. And it has caused a little bit of controversy because dogs are actually having to use public toilets now.
And for good reason.
Yes, and that's where the term bark and mad comes from.
Leave it out.
Shut up. So yeah, they're having trials in Sweden, and but we've actually got a letter here from Bill saying, "I hate trees. I think we should cut them all down and use them as something else." And then we've got one here from Jill saying, "I love trees. I think we should have more of them." So, what do you think? Would you like the? I don't think we need them. I think we could just replace them all with paper mache ones.
I mean, scientifically speaking, trees do actually do something. You know.
Yeah.
Breathe.
I'm not actually this invested in this conversation because I know this is a conspiracy theory podcast, so, you know, I'm just saying that. I've said my piece, but, you know.
I mean, it is conspiracy theory. That.
Hey, guys, I'm up for Greg's, okay? You know, but you guys have your...
So there's a theory that trees are just actually pylons, but painted brown. You know, quite believable.
It's probably something that Nikola Tesla was working on.
True.
Do we need trees? Well, science tells us we need trees.
No, he's called Kimbo.
No, I'm not talking about
right.
science.
What's that? Sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm not talking about the thing I'm not allowed to say.
Oh,
I'm
No,
saying.
you're talking about my cousin, Kim.
So,
I'm not allowing you to badmouth him.
so scientists claim that we need
No,
trees.
he said Kim. He said that's Kim.
No,
He says scientists believe him. Kim's not a scientist. He's a reporter. His name is Kim Ford. He has a strange Australian accent. He's trying to make it in this country. He applied and done his best to get on Sky News. He done his best. He done his absolute fucking best. And look, just because he failed at that interview, and he only failed because Kate, what's her fucking name, said, "I don't like someone with an Australian accent being on the show. It doesn't make sense." Then I just don't understand. Gripe over, do whatever you want. Just some people speak Australian in this country. That's just that. End of discussion. Scientific fact. Boom.
Well, ex-convicts aren't allowed on news shows anyway, because Australia, you know, prison colony. Anyway.
well, shout out to all Australian fans.
Oh, it actually says that bigotry's allowed in this, so yeah. No, sorry, I can't challenge that. No, fair enough.
I like the look of trees, you know. I would say I like to climb trees, but I was never really able to climb a tree, you know. But
Oh yeah, this was about trees. Fuck yeah.
do we need them? Well, I certainly.
Well, before you make your mind up, Joe,
Mhm.
there was a time in Germany just before World War II when
I don't believe it.
nah, neither do I. But the government actually captured all the trees and threw them in jail.
Right.
And
Do you want to know a true interesting
think
fact
we'll
about
know.
World War II German trees, if I may? Because I actually do know a true interesting World War II fact about German trees.
2 seconds, Kim. I got one more fact for you, and that's
Yeah.
where the term treason comes from.
Go and burn a tree, son.
The true accurate fact I have about German trees is basically the British decided to launch bombs, or what they call slow bombs, that would basically were light balloons that would fly over the German countryside. Now, if you ever wanted to take out, say, electrical poles or telephone poles, the basic and best thing to do is to basically have these massive cables that, when they come into contact with these things, will create overcharging energy pulses, right?
EMPs.
EMPs, yeah. And that will destroy the whole local system. And that's basically what the Brits did. They basically launched all these electrical balloons everywhere. And they caused sort of basically minor chaos in Germany and all over the local place during the war. 1943, I believe, is when they launched them. And 1944, sort of towards about now in 1944, i.e., October, September, is when they hit their maximum effect. In part, they were also sort of imagined to create some forest fires, which they did once or twice, but they didn't do to a great extent. But they, basically it was part of Churchill's idea of just rain fire upon Europe and just let the Germans deal with it, which was, the Nazis like that.
It reminds me of another World War II story. Where correct me if I get any of this wrong, please, Kimbo. I believe the Nazis had a fake military base where it was like all the tanks and everything were made out of wood.
Would you believe it?
Well, they were trying to trick the British into wasting their bombs, what have you, on this fake base. But the British knew. So what did the British do? They built fake wooden bombs and dropped the wooden bombs on the wooden tanks just to say to the Nazis, yeah, you're not pulling that fast one on us about that.
I mean, would that work?
Kimbo?
Well, in my personal opinion, I've never heard that anecdote or story before. I will tell you this, though. The British and the Americans were the absolute geniuses of creating deception among the Germans during the war. Because basically what they did was they managed to create an extra army group for the next 2-3 months after D-Day. The Germans thought we're going to create a second front by invading somewhere around Calais or maybe even the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. And even when the British launched Market Garden in late late September, early October 1944 when they launched Operation Market Garden, they still thought the Allies were going to actually launch a second front. It was a little bit diminished in terms of it was going to happen, but they thought it was a possibility, so they were still managing the walls and that, and they weren't sending the troops who were on the wall to the actual front. And that was the key point, of course, the Allies were interpreting. And at the end of the day, I mean, the Allies done a great job in terms of general deception because they basically convinced the Germans that there was an extra army group that just wasn't there. Or at least they convinced the Germans there was extra divisions that just didn't exist. Through basically, we put all this into making a whole bunch, how do you put tanks out there, but you want your enemy to see them, right? Because they're going to find your actual tanks, yeah? So say you've got 200 tanks, your enemy's going to find at least 100 of them, yeah? So if you make your enemy think that you've got 500 tanks more than your 200 tanks, i.e. they think you've got 700 tanks, they're going to shit themselves. So when you go into battle with your 200 tanks rather than 700 tanks, they're going to be shitting themselves. Yeah. Yes? You understand that deception like that? That's how warfare works like that. And if you can do that, if you can deceive people through science, through just basically sparing yourself some extra proportions to make all these inflatable Sherman tanks created across the south of England in about 1944, from about early May to late September, October, you're basically convincing the Germans that there's an army group there that doesn't actually exist. Several armored army groups, even potentially. It doesn't take about a couple of Dad's army to say, hey, set up some army camps over there, set up some army camps over there. Make them think there's loads more troops here in England than there actually is. And that's what they've done for a hell of a lot of the time. Because warfare is very much the art of deception. Scientific fact.
And on that note, cue the other music. Right, back out to Richie's corner. Kim, would you like to finish on yours?
Oh, where do I fucking begin? Hello, and welcome to Kimbo's sign hatch of conspiracy bullshit or scientific actual fact. I don't know. Depending on who you are, this is either the worst bit or best bit of the show. And hopefully, if you're saying it's probably the best bit. Now, anyway, let's talk about the actual things that these assholes have been talking about up to this point. I say assholes, I mean usually Drew. Well, let's talk about the Van Allen radiation belts, shall we? Because the Van Allen radiation belts it's basically this energetic charged zone of particles. It exists around the Earth.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense because there is the solar wind. Now, guys, and I'm speaking down to Jara. Do you know what the solar wind is, guys?
Jara.
Jara?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, good on yous. Basically, the solar wind is basically the sun farts. Now, sun farts are basically when they react with Earth, we have an electromagnetic sphere belt, and the electromagnetic sphere belt basically kicks it all out. However, when it's doing that, it creates the Van Allen belt, and when the electromagnetic atmosphere is doing that, the Van Allen belt is one of the bad things that happens because it's radiation. Did any of you guys watch the HBO Chernobyl special?
No. The what special, sorry?
There was a special on HBO about Chernobyl, and all these guys got radiation, but they died in a good way because they were trying to save humanity. That's what the Van Allen belts are sort of like. They're idiots, but they saved humanity like that.
I think I did see it. Is that the one that had oh god, what's he? One of the
The
scars.
Van Allen mission basically aims to understand the point of credibility of how actually relativistic electrons and ions in space form a charge in response to the changes in solar activity. Not that people in Jara understand that. Am I right, Richie?
Hell yeah.
Down. The Van Allen probe's mission, basically successfully on August the 30th of 2012, realized that the Van Allen probes realized that it was just radiation, and it was bad radiation, but it was radiation to a point. And once you broke this barrier, you weren't actually going to be doing bad things. So say if you're on ISS, fuck, it might be that bad. But as long as you're actually close enough to the planet, you might be okay. But you're still going to pick up some radiation, baby, so with the cancer. So space like that, it might be like smoking some cigarettes. Maybe if you can't go to space, just smoke. Because then you can say, hey, I'm just an Earth astronaut if I'm smoking a cigarette. Yeah, I'm just an Earth astronaut. That's what I do. And it's just a cheaper way to say, hey, I'm not an astronaut. But there's the inner and outer Van Allen belt. Did you know that? But we don't talk about that because of Drew's Bosnian pyramid scheme. That's true fact, scientific fact. Christian Brickland said that, and Carl Strumer. Down. Hey, right, guys, let's talk about something else that we were talking earlier about in the show. Something called Halley's Comet. Now, Halley's Comet is quite interesting because Richie said that his wife actually seen that. Now, Richie, I believe you were talking about your dearly beloved Beatrice earlier. She said she's seen it multiple times.
Ah, yes, Beatrice. Well, the way she spoke about it was like she saw it about 3 times.
Yeah. Well, interesting fact about Halley's Comet, it comes around Earth every 75 to 79 years. Now, Halley is the only known short period comet that is recognizable to the naked eye from Earth. And thus, the only naked eye comet that can appear twice in a human's lifetime. So as such, it's not unusual for her to say she's seen it twice.
Ah. But did
if
she
she's seen it 3 times, then that's a bit of a problem. But it has appeared in the inner parts of the solar system in 1989, and it will next appear in the mid-2061. I believe. Sorry, I'm hearing we've got some breaking news.
I think it might have been a false alarm.
He might have just fell over. He's like that now. He falls over all the time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It seems our pro-Ukrainian support on this channel has got us interference from the Russians. We do apologize for that, but we also don't appear for apologize for our solidarity with Ukraine. Slava Ukrainia! Glory to the heroes! Anyway, Halley's Comet. I've been told by my lawyer to discuss that my appearance in this podcast is only solely linked to Kim's scientific serving hatch, not the actual podcast itself.
Yeah.
My lawyer seems to be quite angry about that. Okay. But anyway, basically, it's not unusual for that to happen. So if you guys want, you can discuss Haley's comment for a minute or two.
Well, did you know?
That's very interesting. Anyway,
Right,
guys, let's get on to our...
Breaking news. Anyone?
Dun, 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 dun.
Kim?
What? Yes. Sorry, Rick. Yeah, sorry, Craig. I am here. I do apologize. What's going on?
I haven't got a clue. That's right. What about you, Kim?
What's going on? I'm sorry. I'm literally breaking news that's going on.
I've sent you the wrong person. It's over to, sorry, Kimbo. It's over to Richie. Richie, breaking news. What's coming out from you?
Okay, I am here on the scene where the king has just made a statement about Margaret Chair. Margaret Chair is at large, and he says that the only way you can beat her is by beating the crap out of her with a limbo stick. I mean, how low can we go, people? You know. So the message from the Metropolitan Police is to just stay vigilant and stay frosty. Back to you, Kim.
Yes, thank you very much, Richie. I'm here live from the studio in Australia. It is 2 a.m. We understand the King will make a segment live for the Australian nation a little bit later on. Yes, it is one of these tough days, considering the grand final was only recently. It's only got the nation so far in this time of infamy and dignity for me. It's just one of these things. We'll hand you back to this live, pre-recorded broadcast of the Curious Podcats for some fucking reason.
Well, I'm sorry about that to interrupt you, Kimbo, but I'm going back to you with your absolutely amazing facts.
But yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. What? I don't understand what's just happened, but yes, we're getting into our final part, guys, and that's the actual bit where I stopped talking about what the crap you said, and I stopped talking about the crap I've said, which is actually scientific fact. Basically, we've been looking. Have you guys heard about the James Webb Space Telescope?
I've heard of it, yes.
Yes. Well, basically, the James Webb Space Telescope recently has been finding Jupiter-sized planets floating in space.
Well, I suppose it's better that they're floating in space than a molten cheese.
Hey,
Well, what's interesting about these planets is that they're actually unconnected to any star. And the fact is that they're literally just floating around and doing nothing. Now, here's the interesting thing. The Space Telescope has observed at least 40 pairs of these in the famous Orion Nebula. Wait, 40 pairs? Yes. Richie, would you like to tell me how many makes a pair?
that would be 20 balls. 20 sets of bollocks, does that make him?
So 20 times 40 equals how many planets?
800?
Exactly. That's 800 planets spinning around in space. Wait, hold on. My lawyer's telling me I can't bullshit you like that. Basically, that's 40 pairs of planets floating around in space. Basically, imagine your testicles, but except 40 times larger and floating around in space and being 2 things. That's what my... Alright, I understand. Fuck off. Why is my lawyer my producer? Go away.
I've got a question. Kimbo, I've got a question.
Yes.
So these rogue planets that they've found,
Yes.
are they gas? You said they're Jupiter sized, but are they gas giants like Jupiter?
Basically, from what we can understand, as far as we're aware, that's basically the biggest size. They've been nicknamed Jupiter Mass Binary Objects, or Jumbos for short. I mean, you'd understand that, wouldn't you?
Indeed.
I didn't even need to say the name. That was funny. One possibility is that these objects actually grew regions where the density of the material was insufficient to actually make fully fledging stars. Now, they also believe, in part, because this is in sort of the Orion nebula, part of the Orion Nebula where the stars are actually forming themselves, So, i.e., it's like early solar system days. There's a possibility that stars are forming and they're becoming so big they're just ejecting these two planets. And these two planets basically come around and start circling around each other. And they start circling and circling and they have an orbit, right? Then they come into contact with a sun or a star that has a bigger mass than both of them, like combined, or bigger solar gravity pull. And it can basically say, well, you've come into my orbit in such a way that I can basically ping you out of my gravitational pull and not give a fuck about you forevermore, because I'm basically going to ping you out that way and throw you up there. And that's what happens. And we basically found a hell of a lot of these planets. So in a sense, the part of the theory and thought is that there's a hell of a lot of jumbos out there, free roaming planets that were actually part of a pre-primordial interstellar planetary system. Now the question is, where is the solar system's jumbos? Where were the solar system's primordial sort of ooze? Where are these early planets that the solar system formed? And is there any other sort of indication that other places around us have these sort of jumbos that are flying around our place? Or is this sort of like something that's unique to just solar system or sort of star nebulas like that? The Orion Nebula. And I will just say my final little thought. You know the Orion's belt, guys?
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to see the area that I'm talking about, you literally just look below the middle of the Orion's belt, a little bit to the south, and that's where the area where all these planets are. You can't see it with your naked eye, but that's if you actually want to look at it, that's what it is.
Well, the Seven Sisters Nebula, I think it's called.
I believe that is the classical name for it, yeah.
So you're telling me, right, that underneath Ryan's belt, there's a big jumbo?
Yes.
Right.
I knew it.
It's not meant to be a joke. It's meant to be a scientific joke.
Yeah, I like how Orion's got 7 sisters below his belt.
Well, he's got 7 twins at least. Well, 5 with this and how it sort of hands.
Busy man.
I know the theorizing that Jupiter itself was actually a failed star.
I've heard that theory. That is a very interesting theory because
Jupiter. Kimbo,
Yes?
was he telling another fact there?
I believe he was.
But I didn't say the words.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the feeling, Craig. You and me should start taking over the show.
The way is, right? You just take over the show together, you, mate. We say stupid stuff, then you come up with all these scientific facts. It's mental.
Well, this is the thing, Craig. Out of the 3 who say stupid scientific facts, you're probably the best. I would rather have you there, and it could be the Kimbo and Craig show, or the Craig and Kimbo show, because it would just be so much better.
Sorry, Kimbo. Breaking news. Can I go over to you, Drew?
Yeah, we are live in the wilderness. That is the Jarrah Forest. There has been reports of sightings of Margaret Chair taking a shit in the grass, though we haven't found it. What the fuck did I just... Oh my god, how the hell does she put out that... back to you, Craig! Oh god, I need to find somewhere to wash my shoe. Where's the River Don?
Thanks for that, Drew. Everyone, that's why we don't go back Drew as much. His voice is so irritating. Can we go over to Australia, please, Kim?
Yes, thank you very much, Craig. As you understand, this is a show that we very much cherish and we very much understand, and we very much like to apologise for any inconveniences we have caused you recently. From what we've understand from the recent complaints that you have actually sent to us, the biggest complaint you have is Drew is a wanker, and that Drew's voice is irritating. So we are happy to, for now, let you know that Drew isn't speaking. Da-da-da-da-dun.
Thanks for
Back
that.
to Craig.
Right, can I go over to you, Richie, for the final word?
Yep. So we're in Jarrah, and apparently Margaret Chair is running around with a chair. Someone has whacked it across the face of a limbo stick, and seems to be hurt. So this could only be a matter of days now. Back to you, Craig.
Say that your voice is so smooth, Richie, not like your co-host, Drew. Thanks for that. Back to Kimbo.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I haven't got much more to tell you. That some jumbo planets are very interesting. James Webb Telescope has been seeing about them, and Drew has a Bosnian pyramid scheme. That's about it. You know. So, Richie, I'll hand it back over to you because we're not listening to Drew because everyone hates his voice.
Okay. So, is this the end of your thing, or
Yeah. I suppose we cue the outro music.
I've got something to say now, and it begins with an E, and it's Eminem.
Evanescence.
Who else?
That's a good one. You know, EM, M. You know,
I don't think of any more of an E.
Erasmus.
Oh,
No. Wait.
Eagle.
No.
Eagles. That's a good
The
one.
Eagles, yeah, I suppose.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Grant.
Eddie Grant.
Eddie Grant, right?
Aye, Electric Avenue.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes.
Eddie
Perfect
Hubbard.
hit.
Ida Linga. Anga Winter Group.
Oh,
Edith
you're on the
Cross,
website. Right,
Adam
okay, if
Bobby,
you're on the website, I'm on the website.
Adam
E.
Bobby,
Bruce, E.
Adam-
Hardgut,
Adam-
Ed Sheeran, Eddie Cantor,
Adam-
Eddie
Adam-
Floyd, Eddie
Adam-
Holland,
Adam-
Eddie Grant,
Adam-
Eddie Lessie.
Yeah,
No, we
Yeah.
have to argument. No, there has to be an argument.
Yeah.
Eiffel 65 is the best band ever. Eiffel 65 is the best band ever. You're all cunts if you don't agree. Elbow, the Electric Century, the Electric Hippies, Electric Mike Moon Orchestra. Craig is the best. Craig is the greatest. Electric Craig Light Orchestra. Ella Craig Fixed Track Rolled. Ella Craig. Ellie Craig Fanning. Craig Holmes. Craig Elling. Craig King, Craig Smith, Craig Elliott Smith, Craig Elms, Craig Elvis Costello, Craig Elvis Presley, Craig Fox Holmes.
Enrique.
Sorry. Hello?
Hello?
Aye.
Who was that?
Craig
Yeah,
Emily
I'm not
Brandt,
today.
Craig Emily Crimley.
Right, Richie,
Craig
help
and
us
M.
get him in the hatch. Let's get him in the hatch.
Aye.
Right, got his legs.
Hooray!
For
Apple
God's
the
sake.
Cumberbatch!
So anyways, Drew, have you got any words of the week apart from that?
I don't do words of the week anymore.
No, you know this is why you're a wanker for, isn't it? Why do you always have to do this? The word.
Why let us shake it? Why is he not doing words of the week? This is the one thing I liked about him. That's the one thing I liked Drew about. He did words of the week. Why can't he stop doing it anymore?